Thank you for joining us. Now let's head straight to the equities market. First on the story here, Bows Nigeria Limited is set to take over Courteville Business Solutions in a mandatory bid, or what is called mandatory bid. Let's quickly look at this now from what it's saying here. First is that for the first time this week, I beg your pardon now, Bows is the largest shareholder with holds about 67.01% of the issued share capital of the company. It made a proposal to buy the 32.99% held by the other shareholders of the company through a mandatory takeover bid to the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the mandatory takeover bid, which of course has been registered with the SEC's record. Now, it says that Courteville Business Solution has about 3.55 billion units of shares outstanding according to data from the NGX, meaning that the Bows set to buy about 1.171 billion shares owned by minority shareholder, and the value here is about 562.46 million naira. Now, let's talk about this implication on this particular development on the investors and of course that particular company. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited, joins me now. Thank you for joining us. Just before we get into the market and the activities yesterday, yes, let's talk about this mandatory takeover bid. What is the implication and what does it mean?
Actually, to be on the exchange, it's a free entry and free exit. But once the company is listed, the company becomes more transparent, and people have access to that company as a listed company on the exchange. And you have also the choice to stay or to leave. But for regulators like SEC and NSC, I think they need to do more education to Nigerian investors, and also educate these companies that are coming to exchange that, yes, you are listed for a lot of reasons. Once you're a listed company, you become transparent. You can have access to fund from the cheap fund, like either your right issue, public offer, to raise funds easily than going to the bank to borrow at exorbitant rate, especially now that interest rates in Nigeria is somewhere above almost 32% to borrow money from the commercial bank. It means that going through your shareholder is easier for you to raise funds. But the trend is changing these days. Yeah, we know that before now we have that free entry and free exit from the market for listed company. But the trend we are seeing that this what we call a mandatory takeover and mandatory tender. There are two things that are in the market. One is tender offer, when you have about you bought about 30% of a company. You want to also take more than buy from a shareholder. That is what we call mandatory tender offer. You want to tell them, come, I want to take. Still, you are not planning to delist or then. But when we say mandatory takeover, that takeover is a choice for the company to stay on the exchange or to leave.
To leave.
And when we say mandatory, either you leave as remain as PLC but not on the exchange. That is why the recent trend we are seeing now. Before now we saw Honeywell Flour did a mandatory tender offer to shareholders, which they are still on the exchange. They collect some shares, just to increase the majority shareholder position. Fine. It affected what he bought from a majority shareholder. Also, ordinary shareholders, he had to pick some to the same price with them, which is good. Then we saw the life of Eternal Oil, the same thing, mandatory tender offer. But from what we're seeing now, if you look at what happened to Union Bank, it was mandatory takeover. After the TT Bank entered that bank, they bought over the whole thing, which is good. But the stock is still listed on the exchange. We don't know, fine, whether they're going to delist tomorrow, but they are still trading the stock. These are the things that the regulator need to clear the market.
Okay.
Two, when I saw this,
just a moment, we'll quickly take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue from there. Well, we'll be right back in a moment. Please stay with us. Glad to have you join us now. Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited, is still here. Yes, I needed to, before we went on break, you were trying to land on that thought, especially giving examples of the ones that happened.
To just go straight to what you were asked. Look at COVID Business Solution. A major shareholder also or stakeholder in the company trying to buy out also the minority shareholder. It owes about 61 or 67.something% of the company already. Right. Now they plan to buy shareholder at the price of what 48 kobo, and this also at the same time they want to delist. Now, when we are delisting, we want to populate NSC. We're not going to depopulate NSC. The way we are seeing the listing before now, I see that Adova has also filed, to buy out and to delist.
And to delist
also, what is it called? Owando from the back corner is coming with that share manager that want them to delist. Those are instead of them to go through the door. They're coming through the window. We have not seen Nigeria where the manager that want the money for delisting. Owando is coming with that agenda. It tells you that if care is not taken, the stocks that will attract more people to invest are not there. And I don't know what the regulators are doing to attract new companies to them, because if there's no companies on them, what are you to invest? And if you want to encourage Nigerians to make encourage them to invest or to save, where to put the money, it's very, very important.
Although we've not heard anything from the minority shareholders if they are comfortable with this takeover or not.
If SEC have approved it, you can see that they give you the file name that SEC have approved it and the price everything. That's why I say want to know if the SEC is protecting minority shareholder or they are protecting the majority shareholder. SEC going to come out to let us know. One, they need to come out and clarify this minority takeover and the mandatory tender offer. They need to do so that the investing public will know exactly what to do from now, because the way it's coming to the market, I think there is confusion, interchangeably what and how to go about it. What level will it come? Because if they're not taken, before you know that most companies on the exchange will start going, because if they want to go, they will go. Because if the majority shareholder want to buy out minority, let them come with a clear policy, a clear, yes, there's a document in regard that the public understand that document. You need to do education. That's why I said, in this part of the world, we see regulators chunking out new products to the market, going on that platform to talk. The ones you have you educated people to make use of it? But we are good in bringing new products, new innovation. That innovation, do they understand that innovation? Innovation that is only for those elites in the market, it doesn't make any impact. You need to take that innovation to the public. That we said Nigeria, we're about 200, Nigeria will have less than 10 million trading exchange. That is how many percent? For me, that is not enough. That is too.
Apart from SEC doing their oversight functions, if the minority shareholders are okay with this, would you say it would be wrong, to do a mandatory, takeover in this particular scheme?
No, for me, it's not wrong. I tell you that has been that it's free entry and free exit. If you want to go, we are good to go as a company. But also, the valuation for the price of 48 kobo, how did they come about? Yes, all due to value it. The stock has touched as 60 kobo, now at 48 kobo. Okay, if SEC agree, that is now done on the minority shareholders to agree. Once they agree, they pay that off. The company decide to delist, fine. But I'm saying that they are populating the exchange. We need more companies to come, because I said earlier that Adova
instead of having more companies to go, you have to. Of course, it's better to have them.
What they need to attach more, because for me, if 4 is leaving and you are bringing 6 or 8, no problem. But as far as living, we have not seen one. What the number of stock to trade or to play with is reducing.
I think we're going to talk more on this, in the week, at the weekend. But let's leave that place now and talk about yesterday's market. For the first time in the week, the market declined by 0.06%, losing about 19 billion naira to the market. So we're beginning to see, will I say, the election fever.
No, I told you earlier that this week we expect cautious trading. This is what I told you, that I'm not surprised seeing the markets. This is not market alone. This is just market just trying to oscillate. Because I tell you, 0.06 is not for me. It's too insignificant. This is just a slide down. Because you look at also the market strength, the momentum behind the market is still very, very strong. Like I said earlier, as far we are seeing low yield or low rate in the fixed income market, the equity market become the attraction. But today is another TB option for us to know what the rate to be. If it remain below that 2.24 or less than an upward trend, even an upward trend, it will shake the market, because the time to make money is shorter in equity market. For that, but with time, as yield start increasing in the physical market, we might see the direction of fund to back toward the equity fixed income space. For now, we're seeing fund going to equity because we have seen companies that posted an impressive number that will support their payout at the end of the day. For me, there's no cost for like what was on the market for me is just profit taking. I would say that it's not something should panic.
Well, what can you say about the fact that international bureaus was the highest loser on Tuesday after a share price decreased by from 4 naira 70 kobo to 4 naira 50 kobo, losing about 20 kobo yesterday? For me,
this time Nigerian investors are becoming savvy and intelligent in investment. I said this is what we call the dividend, income investing period because of the earnings season. Like what you just say, earnings. Here, now international bureau, look at they are still struggling with trade position, and on the strength of that, investors now know that yes, at this earnings season people will be expecting dividend, but possibility that this company will pay dividend is very, very low, very, very low. For that, you need to sell off your position and move to where dividend position. That is why you are seeing it said now, because the number from that company does not support dividend payment at this current financial year. They were expecting results.
While impressive, we saw Gergo Power, GTCO, Zenith Bank, and Access, Corporation, and UBA were among the top 5 traded stock on Tuesdays. So when you look at this, would you also, describe it as the impact, or describe this movement as the impact of earnings that we're having in the market?
Yeah, actually, I would say so, because why I said I've said it there that the factors in favor of the banking sector are increasing on a daily basis.
Right.
Despite the cash crunch we're having now, I believe at the end of the day, the bank will fall, yes, come back. On the long run, might see the effect, but on the short run, because of the earnings we're expecting from the bank, and these things happen after the financial year 2022 has ended. They've submitted, most of them have sent their result to the central bank. I mean, they won't change their payment because CBN has to approve the payment. But I believe that on that strength of earnings and dividend expectation, knowing that the bank sector are the most consistent in dividend payouts in Nigeria, investors are taking position. That's why you can see volume in those sectors, because GTB, Access, Zenith Bank, UBA, these first-tier banks, I tell you, this for their payout has improved. And if you look at the price they are selling, even they pay what they paid in the previous year, they're still having a good day. But if they grow their payout, these are the things, because I will tell you, election on Friday will not stop any company that wants to pay dividend not to pay dividend. And those that know that, yes, even the season that people are saying there's a uncertainty, the opportunity, let's key in at the end after the election, life continue, and we need to make money. And that's why they're taking position in those big names in the banking sector. Right. I believe that there are also in second-tier banks that have done well, that their numbers also support what a good payout. That investors will be thinking, because if you're taking those big names, yes, the yield is high, but there are also some second-tier banks that I tell you, the yield as to speak now is high, because if you look at their earnings, what to pay at the end of the day is high. For me, this is time to go where you know that you are sure. And also don't forget that anywhere in the economy, the banking sector is the most liquid sector, and also these are what drive economy. I believe that no matter what is happening, for you to really make money, the banking sector, the industrial, the oil and gas, agriculture sector, these types of things, if you put your position, let election come and go, because election will just want the Saturday. I tell you, before Monday morning or Monday evening, the result will come, and whoever that comes from the regulators will going to support the economy. For me, there's no cause for that.
Okay, let's look at today now. So what do we expect for today? Do you think that there's going to be a change from the negative trend recorded yesterday?
Because like what I wrote this morning, I said we started seeing a seesaw movement and cautious trading already. When I mean seesaw movement, that means market go up today, come down tomorrow. Then we saw market up on Monday, it was slightly down yesterday. Today being midweek, I already see that Gidegu was almost getting about 10% because of about around 24 naira. That was about, and these high caps were going to turn the trend of the market. And you asked me last time, I believe that no matter the election is happening, because we are already at the peak of any season, and most high cap stocks have not moved with all this. And when they start moving, they'll keep the market. Or that's why I said investors should not panic, but look at where you can make good yield. It is not the high cap stock that give the money. The one that can give you money in terms of dividend, if you are dividend income, go to that high cap and look up and position. But high cap stock will also be used to support the market and uptrend. There's no cause for alarm.
I think we should leave it there. Thank you so much, Ambrose Omodion, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting Limited.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Cheers.
At the break, we turn attention to looking at the countdown. It's countdown to Saturday poll as Nigerians get ready to cast their vote. But of course, not forgetting to look at burning issues or economic issues ahead of Saturday. Be back in a moment. Please stay with us.